Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another day here in Bronie's desk. And I'm very honoured and blessed to welcome my dear friend Richard Renton, who is affectionately known in our industry as Dr. Dirt. And look, only had kind of one question come in, but it's even though it's about one particular ingredient in our mainstay product, the BTT or Beyond Tangy Tangerine, I thought it'd be good to have my friend Richard investigate all the ingredients in there, because there's a lot of ingredients in there and I don't think people really understand, well, this org score. I never even knew what that was until Steve Wallach started talking about it. What the heck are they even talking about? So that'd be really handy for you to also explain to us a bit more about, if you can, Richard. But first of all, the main question was on the vitamin C in our Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and we only have 2.0 here, which is why I've asked you just about that one here down, and that's the only one we can get. And where it's sourced from, is it plant or herb based, and all the good things about it, and why we only use the best quality. So I'll hand it over to you. Thank you, Richard.
So, hello, everybody. I'm glad to be on with you. Your morning, my evening, but we can all have a good time, that's for sure. And so to completely answer your question, we get our ascorbic acid from orange peel extract out of the EU because it isn't genetically modified, and we can get it herbicide and pesticide free. From that, it goes to a lab where they isolate ascorbic acid out of the oranges, and that's what vitamin C is. Now, there's a lot of people out there that say vitamin C is an ascorbic acid, and those people I basically term as non-chemists, because there's a book called the Merck Index. I'm going to disappear on you for half a second, but I'll keep talking. And it's basically the Bible of chemistry. And basically every single compound that is out there is in this book.
Wow, that's a big book.
Yeah, well, there's unfortunately a lot of chemicals, but if we were to open this up and we would turn it to ascorbic acid, which we're not going to be able to read the print per se, but I'll just tell you, I'll hold it close to my face because then hopefully it comes in somewhat vision. But ascorbic acid says it's vitamin C, and then gives on the next page the organic chemical breakdown of that. And then if we turn around and go to the back of the book under vitamins and look up vitamin C, it says it's ascorbic acid. So ascorbic acid is vitamin C is ascorbic acid. Now, the reason why there is so much confusion and fun with this particular vitamin is that it can bond to many, many things. It can bond to calcium. It can bond to just about every mineral out there. It can bond to just about any amino acid out there. And so what a lot of people struggle is that ascorbic acid itself is very, very acidic. It's right around 2.6 on the pH scale. And a lot of times it upsets people's stomachs. And so they like to bond it to calcium. They really don't have to bond it to calcium, but it's called buffered C. All they have to do is have calcium present when it's in your stomach, and the chemical reaction will happen automatically. And if you look at our Beyond Tangy Tangerine, there's calcium in there, and there's also ascorbic acid in there. And so typically we don't have people that have problems with that. But that being said, there's only one form, and that's ascorbic acid. Then you can bond it. And so it's kind of like you can get coffee that's just coffee. You can get Americana. You can get a latte. But they're all based off of coffee, right? And so ascorbic acid is ascorbic acid, and you can bond a lot of things to it and change it slightly, but it's still ascorbic acid is vitamin C. And that's the form that we use in all our products, because when they're with other ingredients, they have a tendency to buffer out. There it goes. So then the next question gets really interesting, is how much vitamin C do we need? Well, if you believe the US government, which I don't, the RDA, or daily value, is based on the absolute minimum you need to basically prevent scurvy. And that is for most individuals between 40 and 90 milligrams a day, which doesn't really do anything except you won't get scurvy. And unless you're planning to be on the ocean for long periods of time and not have any fresh fruits and vegetables available, I don't think you really have to worry about that much in scurvy. I think in 30 years in doing the nutritional game, I've actually never ran into anyone that had scurvy. And so that being said, it's not that much. But there's a gentleman out there. He's kind of an interesting gentleman. His name is Dr. Linus Pauling. And he's kind of famous because he's actually won the Nobel Prize twice, which is really kind of a rare thing. Neither one, however, are in nutrition. So we have to understand that he's primarily a chemist. He actually is a dean emeritus at Oregon State University, which from where I live right now is about 70 miles south. And I've actually, before he left us, went down and listened to him speak on several occasions on that. And he's, as Doc is the mineral doctor, he's the vitamin C doctor. And he feels that everyone should take vitamin C to basically bowel intolerance and a little bit less. And so if you don't know what bowel intolerance is, I'll let you Google it and you can figure that out. We'll keep this a nice call. But in typical people, it starts to get around 4,000 to 5,000 milligrams, or 5 grams is the minimum he feels you should take. And you should push yourself to that bowel intolerance so that you push it out more and get more, because he says there's more long-term benefits to that. And there is lots of benefits to vitamin C, but then we have to also be concerned on what's considered upper tolerable limits, which I think is another word for saying bowel intolerance, but in this particular case with vitamin C. And in the United States, which is the guidelines that Longevity has to go by, because that's the home corporation office, they determine that when the first 1% of people start to have any adverse event with any nutrient, and in this case, vitamin C, it's right around 4,000 milligrams. And then they take that 4,000 and they divide it by 2 and bring, say, that upper tolerable limit's 2,000 milligrams. So a nutritional company can't get in too much trouble if they stay between 40 and 2,000, which is quite the difference. So then you turn around and you start asking, what does vitamin C do for you? Oh, I guess I should do one other thing. It also varies on age. And so I'm going to give you US numbers. I don't think Australia is that far behind or ahead of us, but in this area, a 1 to 3-year-old is 400 milligrams. A 4 to 8-year-old is 650 milligrams. 12 to 13 is 1,200 milligrams. And 14 to 18 is 1,800 milligrams. And that gives you a little bit of an idea of the upper limits based on age. And then for adults, we said 2,000 milligrams. For some reason, they feel men need it more than women. I would thought it would be the opposite, but that's beside the point. Women are 75 milligrams. If you're pregnant, they think you should take a little bit for the fetus. So now it's 85 milligrams. If you're lactating and taking care of a new baby, they say it should be 120 milligrams. And if you smoke or drink excessively or have a large amount of stress, you should add 35 milligrams. So
yeah, well, I'm going to add some more then.
So that really, it's kind of crazy, but it does lots of benefits to you. And we can go through that. I've actually lost my page that told me all the benefits. Don't know what I did with it. But one of the things that's kind of strange is most people understand that vitamin C is an antioxidant. It will do all the functions of antioxidants. In other words, it controls the free radicals in your body, helps reduce stress, for example. It's really good for your skin, helps connective tissue and all those. So it's good for your arteries. It's good for your veins. It's good for your skin. It's good for your joints. It's good for anything that has collagen in it because it bonds with collagen and makes collagen grow faster. And so all those things, a lot of skincare products out there have vitamin C in it because over a given period of time, especially if there's copper in the body as well, it will reduce skin's wrinkles. Now, I still have a few. You can obviously tell I don't do Botox because I can raise my eyebrows. But, you know, we can think about those types of things and all those benefits. But the one that kind of is famous people with is colds. They say, you know, if you take vitamin C, you won't catch a cold. That's really not true. You could still catch a cold, but what science shows is the duration of the cold or even the flu is shorter if you take a reasonable amount of vitamin C, probably in the neighborhood of 1,000 to 1,800 on the other side of the bed. Some of the other benefits to it that I like to talk about is that your body uses copper better. And we already talked about the benefits of your skin and tissue and all that kind of thing. Color. One of my other calls, I said that that copper and tin helps with the coloring in the hair. And I pointed out that in the spinal, in your cranial region, the color goes up and over your head, or the blood that supplies all the nutrients goes over the top of your head and down, and the last point's your chin. And I'm probably almost a perfect example of that because, you know, I'm still brown, not much gray up there, but when you get down to here, I have a pretty good gray patch. And if you kind of look over on the side, I got a little bit of gray here because it comes down the side. And so I told them when I was going to go on Europe, I was going to take a little tiny spray bottle because you can only allow I got to convert this, 100 milliliters in a squirt bottle on a plane or something dumb like that. And so I'm going to take it, not very much. I'm going to take a bottle and put a concentrate of minerals in it, and I'm going to spray it on my beard once a day for the whole time I'm on vacation. And we'll see if you start to see a little more color in either my mustache or my beard. Kind of fun. We'll see what happens.
What a great experiment. And then we'll have you on the fourth Monday of October, and we'll see it.
We'll see. And we'll see if we show any difference. I really don't know if I would. I'll be surprised if we do, because 1 month isn't a whole heck of a lot of time.
No.
But we'll see what happens. We'll have fun with this. But
I tried that. Richard, I tried that, and it didn't do anything for my grey hair.
Well, did you spray it on your chin, or did you miss and hit your forehead?
No. I sprayed it on my whole face and, and my hair.
And I'm just teasing you a little bit. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll have fun with it. I know that the Japanese clients really believe on spraying it on their skin, and they say it's really helped reduce the wrinkles. And so, well, that being said, the other big mineral that is beneficial to vitamin C is iron. And so whenever you have people talk about that they need to take more iron, if they take maybe a little more iron, but they take more C, they'll see a benefit in their iron and their blood and the blood health. Also, being an antioxidant, vitamin C promotes white blood cell growth, which helps with infections, which helps with free radicals and all that types of things. There is one other one. Selenium works better when there's ample amount of vitamin C in your body. Vitamins. Vitamin C helps B12. How many people say that they don't get enough B12? Vitamin also helps vitamin E and those types of things. And so, as I mentioned, you know, that one vitamin does an awful lot for your body. And it's important that we understand that just about all the minerals and all the vitamins all have huge long lists like this. And so one of the benefits of 2.0, which is what you get, or Ultimate Daily tablets or the liquids, I'll tell you a funny story about the liquids in a few seconds, is that we believe that there's 90 essential nutrients that are important. And all our complex, we strive to get about 87 out of the 90. The only 3 that we usually don't have in there, we don't have large amounts of iron, but we don't have essential fatty acid 3 and 6. If you have ample amount of 3 or 6, your body can make 9. And so we count that as the 2 essential. And most people don't like the taste of fish oil. Most people don't like the taste of krill oil, really. And so we put those in soft gels for the convenience of our clients so that they can get all 90 essential nutrients. But 2.0 pretty much covers the spectrum on all the other products there, excuse me. And it's important that you understand that we believe in this whole body concept, and that when you hear Dr. Wallach talk, and he talks about 90 essential nutrients, and then he talks about things outside the 90 essential nutrients that can be beneficial depending on what's going on, whether it's your digestion, we add I-26, enzymes or probiotics, or whether it's joints and we add glucogel and maybe liquid glucogels. If you're a diabetic, maybe sweeties or other things like that. In other words, there's things we can add if you have health challenges, but if you have all 90 essential nutrients, and I've seen this so many times over the 30 years, it's almost comical. The average person loses a little bit of weight because their body's no longer starving with nutrients, and they don't wolf down those side meals that typically don't have anything good for them anyways. And they'll feel better in general within 90 days. And to me, that's impressive that we can do this within 90 days. Now, some people, it's a few weeks. Some people, it all depends on how healthy you are. If you're really healthy anyways, getting 10% better is unheard of, right? And so sometimes they don't notice it. But one of the things that I do as a business person is that I always talk to my customer at week 3 of them trying the products. And I ask how they're doing, how they're feeling, what do they think is going on. I ask how much they have left, because how much do we have in our product? We have a 1-month supply. That's so right. At 3 weeks, they're pretty much ready to reorder. If they say, oh, I got a half a bottle left, what does that tell you?
They haven't been taking it.
Yeah, it's not going to work when it sits on the shelf. It hasn't. I haven't come up with a way to do that yet. Somehow osmosis is from itself and into the body.
Why haven't you?
I don't know. It just seems like that would be a sure thing to do, and then it would solve a lot of everybody's problems. But I call to find out those questions, and they do that. And then when I first sell them the products, I usually take the 5 things they want to see changed. And when I ask them how they're feeling better, I don't say how you feel better. And he goes, oh, I really don't know. I'll ask them those 5 things. Is your elbow still bothering you as much, or are you getting more extension? How about your blood sugars? Do they seem to be doing anything? Have you lost a pound or so? And I try to go that, and I try to get them say, oh yeah, I really didn't think about that, but I have. My jeans are a little bit looser. Well, it's working, and you'd be amazed if you keep going what you'll do it, because science tells us as well, and this is just a business side of this, people, so don't yell at me about this. If you can get a person to take a product every day for 30 days, it'll start to become a habit. And after 90 days, he'll feel funny if he doesn't do it. And after 90 days, if he stops, he'll go back to the way he was within a month, and all of a sudden he'll call you up and say, I don't feel as good as I used to, and I stopped taking your stuff. And I go, well, duh, right? Why'd you stop taking it? Well, it was too expensive, or it was this, or it was inconvenience, or it was messy. I really don't care what the reason is, but if you make it important enough, it's less than a Starbucks coffee is now. If you go to Starbucks and drink it. And so I'm not very sympathetic. And I turn around, just kind of call him the line. He says, if you can sell a difference, you'll find a way if you really feel it makes a difference. So the amusing story is that when we first started to make Ultimate Classic and liquid Tangy Tangerine, everyone was trying to copy us, and everyone was having problems, because you have to blend them in a certain order and allow resting time in there. If you don't, it's kind of like making a cake with 100 different ingredients. You'll have a tendency, it'll start to gas and it'll blow up. Well, in our case, the bottles started to blow their seals, or the bottom would pop out and it'll look round on the bottom, and everyone thought it was botulism. Well, it wasn't botulism, it was just made wrong. And to this day, I don't think anyone's really figured out the trick on making classic. And it's almost amusing. But I can tell you, vitamin C is one of the key things we have to be careful that we don't match it up with other ingredients, because if we do, it will gas and the bottle will explode. And so people haven't figured out that trick yet. Now, there's some new people on the internet. They're coming out with liquids. They really don't have a multivitamin yet. They have like a turmeric liquid or a 1 and 2 ingredient liquid. They don't have one of our 120 blends. And I just don't think people want to spend the time and science to figure out how to do it. They just want to make their quick profit and get in and get out. And so vitamin C, crucial element. I hope that everyone gets their vitamin C. We used to have a chewable. People didn't buy it. I don't know why. I will tell you that there's nothing wrong with going down to your health food store and get ascorbic acid, whether it's bonded with
down here.
Yeah, whether it's bonded to calcium or anything else. But if you want to try it, and you're going into wintertime, and you guys are not, you're going into spring. But when it goes into the fall, you may want to kick up to 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day, just to get your immune system ready for it. I know that I always tell in the States, parents, when the kids start going to school, you got to start taking more vitamin C, because the kids' immune system are great and teachers' immune systems are great. But it's amazing how many times the parents get sick when the kids come home, because they bring it and they share it with them. And so, think about it, and it kind of makes you chuckle, but the parents need to take it as well, and the grandparents when they go see their kids, just to make sure. So anyways, there's the story about vitamin C. I could probably talk about every nutrient this way. And I don't know what we want to do next month afterwards, besides look at this and laugh at me as well as with me. And we can see what's going on. We'll figure out something to talk about. But
you'll need 90 days anyway.
Well, that would be fair, but we'll put the pressure on, so to speak. Maybe when we get up after this call, I'll make my solution now and start a week ahead of time. Just give myself a little extra time. Is there questions that people are popping up with?
Richard? Yep.
Yeah. Hi, Grant.
Can I ask, if you're taking Beyond Tangy Teen to help to your weight, how much is in a daily supplement? How much vitamin C is in a daily supplement?
How much C is in BTT? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
No, you're going to put me on the spot and put me on something like that. Just a second, I'll answer your question. We'll have to do this, and we'll have to do this, and then I have to hit USYG 100075, and then click on this, and then come on, where's the supplement fact panel? There it is. C, I know I'm looking for it. There is 1,250 milligrams in the U.S. version of vitamin C. I didn't look up Australia that quick.
It'll be the same, similar. So if you're taking like two Healthy Body Start Packs, you're taking about 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C. Is that right?
2,500, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's cool. That's fine. Yep.
And then I'll ask you, are you doing that? Because this helps everybody else here. Are you taking that much?
Oh, I'm taking about half that. I'd love to be able to take that much. Just can't afford it. Yeah.
Okay. I was just saying, if you know someone that does, ask them if they're having any bowel problems. Are they at that bowel tolerance? And if they also, when someone starts on the Healthy Start Pack in general, I usually first week put them on a half dose, not even a full dose, because I don't want them to have that, because if they don't understand it, they'll quit, because they don't want to keep running to the bathroom, right? Yeah. And then let their body kind of get used to it. Then I move it up to 3/4, and then I move up to a full dose, so that they have a better reaction to the product.
Well, while you're on that, I always thought it was the magnesium that caused the gut problems.
It can be magnesium, but it's more, because there's 1,250 in there, it's more apt to be the vitamin C. Magnesium will do the same thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you.
That's also why we don't have a liquid magnesium. It only comes in a capsule, because that tablet takes longer to dissolve in your body, and because you spread it out more, you don't have that whoosh to your digestive system. So,
well, a friend of mine tried Beyond Tangy Tangerine, but he had all sorts of gut issues. Could it be that? But his diet's pretty crappy. He eats all fried food and stuff. So, would that be the magnesium or the vitamin C, or both?
It could be either, or it could be both.
Yeah.
I would just cut him back to a 1/4 of a scoop and see if he has any gut issues. Then move him up to a half scoop, and then you need to talk to him about his diet. You mentioned to him that his diet's crummy. His diet's really crummy. Maybe he needs to start out with just probiotics and I-26 first, then add enzymes, and then add BTT, all with giving a month between gaps.
So the Healthy Body Start Pack, but start with the extra stuff.
Probiotics first.
Yeah.
And if you get your hands on I-26, you guys get I-26 in Australia?
We do.
Yeah, we can go I-26.
We get all forms.
Yeah. And so then that gets his gut healthier. And then he can take the vitamins, the BTT. There we
BTT. Go. Thanks, Richard. That's been a problem of mine for years with my mate.
There you go.
Now,
right.
and Karen just pointed out, which I was trying to say, we do have, and this is only new to us down here. We've only had it probably not quite a year, I don't think. The CFX vitamin C as well. So did you what you've expanded on today? Would that involve the CFX vitamin C as well?
I don't quite understand your question.
The vitamin we have, and I said we've only had it probably a year down here.
Ultimate CFX, yes.
Here in Australia. So I've heard people recommend it as well as the BTT and to help with other things. With all that you talked about with the vitamin C in the BTT today, how does that relate to the CFX? Taking that
so you can add more, but just remember, if they start adding more and all of a sudden they start to have some unregular bowel movements, then they need to back down because they're at that bowel intolerance. Most people don't see any bowel intolerance to 2,000 or 2,500, really almost 4,000. And so is it safe to take it? I would, but I'm knowledgeable. So I know that if I start to have these reactions, and this is the one thing I change, I need to back up that. So if you're recommending it to a client, you tell them, a lot of people have bowel intolerance to vitamin C. Linus Pauling, who won 2 Nobel Prizes, he says, take it to almost bowel intolerance. And so it might be a good thing that you realize that for you, bowel intolerance is BTT plus 3 vitamin C's, and you don't go to 4.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, look, now it seems vitamin C is the topic of the day. We also have, for our skin, waterless vitamin C. Can you explain that a bit further?
The waterless vitamin C, when you put it on your face, you're actually not putting that many milligrams of vitamin C, but it's going to work the 7 layers of your skin and not go much further. It's just because that's the nature of it. And so, if you have a ritual and you wash your face, put a little bit of toner on your face, I tell people put a little bit of plant-derived minerals on a cotton ball at night and put that on your face. That will work like a toner. But before you put your makeup on, put on a little bit of vitamin C. It's good for your skin. It will help reduce wrinkles and whatnot. And the amount of makeup that you'll have to put on will probably drop in half, because it kind of softens the skin and makes it more acceptable to the makeup itself. And almost everyone we try that. And so one of the things that I love to do if I do a trade show is have waterless vitamin C and enzyme peel. And I actually put the enzyme peel on the back of both hands so that they could see how it works. And then I wipe it off. And on one hand, I'll put on a little bit waterless vitamin C. Did I say those backwards? I put the enzyme peel first, then the vitamin C on, and I have them feel their hands after I put the C on, and they'll go, I can't believe my skin feels that way. And I
love how it makes my skin feel. I actually, when I'm putting it on my skin, I actually also take it through my hair.
And then put a little bit of makeup. I take a little bit of that powder, not concealer, the foundation, and I put a little bit there, and I just blend it in. And I go, see how you use less of the makeup and it covers just as well. And so it's an easy way to get with the women. The quick story on that, I don't have a lot of time on it, is that when Michelle came up with the Skin Line product, she wanted Steve to go out with her on the road and put makeup on women. And Steve says, no, there's no way I can do it. Get Richard to do it. And so they drugged me into it and taught me how to do it. And I actually have a good time. The only problem I had was we went to New York City, and it's the first time I put makeup on an African-American woman. I didn't understand how the tones of their skin would change the makeup. I made the woman look dead.
Oh, dear.
It was terrible. And she looked at my face and she just looked at me and says, Hon, I appreciate you're doing it, but you just made me look dead, didn't you? And I go, the nice thing about mineral makeup is it comes right off too. And so then I called over some help. I got some more training on it, but it's a fun way to meet and talk to people, and whether it's nutrition or makeup or any of our other food products or anything like that. And I've always enjoyed my 28 years with Longevity.
Yeah, well, like I said, that waterless vitamin C, it just blows me how beautiful it makes my skin feel. And when you're having a really bad day, just put some on. It'll make you feel good. But like I said, I actually continue and actually put some through my hair as well.
So everyone on the call tonight, send your questions to our host so that she could kind of figure out what we're going to do on the 4th October. And I can't quite see that part of the calendar to give you a date, but the 4th Thursday of the month, I'll be there for you. But if you could send me a list of what the questions are.
Tuesday.
The 4th Tuesday. Well, my Monday, your Tuesday.
Yeah. I thought you said Thursday, but anyway,
I did.
And I was thinking, hang on a minute here. Let me see. I'll tell you exactly in a second. It should be 28th, so you're 27th.
Okay.
Does that sound
about right?
And
we'll answer more of your questions, and we'll have a good time in the fall, so to speak, or your spring.
Oh, Karen says she has a question. Okay, Karen.
Oh, okay, Karen.
Liposomal vitamin C, liquid. Should we be taking that?
Or someone just asked about I can't pronounce it. Liposomal vitamin C.
Should we be taking?
Should we be taking it?
So you said something about liquid vitamin C. We don't have a liquid vitamin C, do we?
No.
It's someone else's product.
What is it? What is
liposomal? What is liposomal? What is it?
Liposomal.
What liposomal? Have you heard of liposomal?
So would you email me, Richard at Longevity, type it out, and then I'll answer the question to you.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
And even Bronie, the different types of calciums that we have will be good too. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. There's a question for next time. Talk on the different types of calciums we have.
Yeah.
I got one question for you on calcium. Richard, before you go, we sell the Life Force Vita C Plus. Have you ever seen it? Have you looked at the product yet?
No.
Okay. Reason
what's it called?
Because all the bags have puffed up very, very hard, and it just came to thought when you talked about fermenting. Could that be the reason so that this vitamin C is off-gassing and it's popping up the packs because they're very hard?
So, let the people in the New Zealand office know that if it came over by air to their warehouse, it could be just going on air, because I noticed that a lot of products, when I take them over the ocean and I fly for long periods of time, I have that problem. I don't think we're having a chemical reaction to that, but I will reach out to Sandy, which is the logistics vice president in Chula Vista, and I'll ask her if they're coming to the warehouse that way. And then when I come back with you next time, we'll answer those questions.
Or whether it's just getting, because this is an old bag as well, so perhaps it's just part of the old stock from Life Force, and you guys have sort of sorted that out. But yeah, the whole bag is swollen, and the last several bags I've had are swollen as well. I just thought it was a natural thing.
No, so I'll do some due diligence for you. Okay.
Okay, much appreciated. Love hearing from you, Richard. You're so knowledgeable.
All right.
Thanks for sharing all of this with Down Under.
All right. You guys be well. All right.
Thank you very much, Richard. So I know you have to go to your own program, so we will call it a day there. And as
I get 25 minutes and off we go.
Oh, you got 25 minutes and off you go.
Yeah, I get 25 minutes to down dinner, so to speak, and get some liquids in me, and then we'll start going again. Hey,
That's
for you
right.
guys, I wasn't even intentional. I have my Queensland cup.
Well, Karen's in Queensland and her group there. But so we will close it out so you can go and get your dinner down before your show. And as I ask everyone nicely here in Bronie's World to stay safe, stay informed, be empowered, but do not live in fear, my friends. And when you're getting that vitamin C, oh my goodness, after what Richard's shared with us today, then you too will be powerful, beautiful, brilliant, and most definitely very brave, and you will make a difference in your life. Thank you, everyone, and we'll catch you again tomorrow here in Bronie's World. Bye for now. Thank you, Richard.
Thanks, Richard. Thanks, Bronnie.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. Be well, everybody.
You too, and have a great trip, Richard.